It's 2:47 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling again. Your mind won't stop. It's running through conversations from years ago, replaying mistakes, catastrophizing about tomorrow, spinning through worst-case scenarios that feel absolutely real in the darkness. And you know you need sleep. You know tomorrow matters. But your brain has other plans. It's trapped you in a prison of your own making, and the bars are made of your own thoughts. Most men suffer through this in silence, thinking they're broken. They're not. They're just trapped. And tonight, we're breaking you free. I'm Mr. Stark. I hope you will enjoy today's video and discover many unknown things. Let's begin. You know this feeling intimately. It's not just insomnia. It's something deeper. You lie there in the darkness, and your mind becomes a courtroom where you're both the prosecutor and the defendant. Every decision you've made, every word you said wrong, every opportunity you missed, every way you've failed, someone gets replayed like a broken record. And here's what makes it so maddening. You understand intellectually that these are just thoughts, but at 3 a.m., they don't feel like thoughts. They feel like truth. They feel like prophecy. Your future failures, your unworthiness, your inevitable collapse. It all feels inevitable when you're trapped in that darkness. The cage has no physical bars, but it's more real than any prison made of steel. You've tried everything to escape. You've tried forcing yourself to sleep. You've tried exhausting yourself physically. You've tried meditation apps and breathing exercises and warm milk and herbal teas. And for a night or two, maybe something works. But then you're back. You're always back. 3 in the morning, racing heart, mind on fire, wondering if you'll ever know peace again. Here's what you need to understand. Your brain isn't trying to punish you. It's trying to protect you. Every night, when you lie down, your nervous system activates an ancient survival mechanism. Thousands of years ago, your ancestors needed to stay vigilant at night, scanning for predators, analyzing potential threats, preparing for danger. That hypervigilance kept them alive. Your brain still has that same programming, but now, instead of scanning for tigers, it's scanning through the landscape of your thoughts. It's looking for emotional threats, social threats, existential threats, and it finds them everywhere. Because your mind is incredibly creative, it's incredibly powerful, and it can imagine threats that don't exist with stunning, terrifying detail. You lie there, and your brain offers you a movie, a projection of everything that could go wrong. And because you're tired, because your rational mind is offline, you believe that movie. You mistake the simulation for reality. You think, maybe I really am failing. Maybe I really am losing control. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to collapse. And once that thought lands, your nervous system kicks into high gear. Your cortisol spikes. Your heart races. Your body floods with adrenaline. Now you're not just overthinking, you're physically wired for danger. Your body is ready to fight or flee. Except there's nothing to fight. There's nowhere to run. So you lie there, trapped in this biochemical storm, while your brain keeps generating more and more catastrophic scenarios. You think the price of insomnia is just lost sleep. You're wrong. The cost runs much deeper. Every night you lose, you're not just losing rest, you're losing your immune system's ability to repair itself. You're losing your emotional resilience. You're losing your mental clarity. The next day, you're running on fumes, making decisions from a place of weakness instead of strength. You snap at people you love. You second-guess yourself on important choices. You avoid taking action because you're too tired to believe in yourself. And that failure of action, that becomes tonight's overthinking material. You didn't make that call you knew you should make. You didn't start that project. You didn't have the conversation. And now, lying in darkness, your brain is punishing you for it. It's saying, see, you're weak, you're incompetent, you're failing. The sleepless night created the overthinking, and the overthinking guaranteed another sleepless night. It's a downward spiral, and the more nights you lose, the more your confidence erodes, the more your relationships suffer. The more you feel like you're watching your life from outside yourself, unable to participate fully. You become a ghost in your own existence. You show up physically, but you're absent emotionally. Your partner notices, your kids notice, your work suffers, and you notice most of all, you know something is wrong. You know you're not the man you used to be. And that knowledge, that becomes the 3 a.m. thought that keeps you awake tonight. Now, here's the trap you've probably fallen into. You think the solution is to fight harder. You think if you just discipline yourself enough, if you just force yourself to sleep, if you just will yourself into peace, then you'll win. So you lie there, gripping the sheets, tensing every muscle, trying to make yourself relax. And every minute that passes without sleep, you get more frustrated. You check the clock to 15 a.m., then 2:47 a.m., then 3:22 a.m. And each time you check, you panic a little more. I have to be up in 5 hours. This is disaster. I'm ruined. You're now fighting on 2 fronts. Fighting your thoughts and fighting your frustration about your thoughts. You're trying to control the uncontrollable. And here's the neurological truth. The more you fight your thoughts, the stronger they become. It's like trying to push a beach ball underwater. The harder you push, the more violently it pops back up. Your brain doesn't respond to force. It responds to understanding. It responds to acceptance. The man who lies awake and says, "Okay, my mind is racing. That's what's happening right now. I'm not fighting it. I'm just observing it." That man actually has more power than the man who's white-knuckling his way towards sleep. Because the moment you stop fighting, you've already won half the battle. You've stopped adding resistance to resistance. You've stopped creating more adrenaline through your own panic. You've created space, and in that space, something shifts. This is the moment everything changes. I need you to hear this. The fact that you overthink, the fact that your mind won't shut down, that you analyze deeply, that you can see problems from 100 different angles, this isn't a curse. This is a gift. The same brain that keeps you awake at night is the brain that makes you effective. It's the brain that thinks 3 steps ahead. It's the brain that catches problems others miss. It's the brain that cares deeply about getting things right. Your overthinking mind has probably made you successful in ways you haven't even fully appreciated. You're detail-oriented. You're conscientious. You think about consequences. You want to do right by the people you love. These are strengths. But here's what's happened. Your brain has learned that the only way to be safe is to be constantly vigilant. It's turned your superpower into a prison because it thinks that relaxation equals danger. It thinks that if you stop worrying, something terrible will happen. It thinks you're overthinking as the only thing standing between you and catastrophe. So your job isn't to kill your overthinking mind. Your job is to retrain it, to tell it, "I see what you're trying to do. I appreciate that you care. But we don't need to solve all the world's problems at 3 a.m. We're safe. We can rest now. I've got this." The moment you shift from fighting your nature to befriending it, everything changes. Your nervous system exists in one of 2 states, sympathetic or parasympathetic. Sympathetic is your fight or flight mode. It's useful when you're facing real danger. Your heart races, your breathing quickens, your senses sharpen. Parasympathetic is your rest and digest mode. It's when your body can actually recover. Your heart rate slows, your breathing deepens, your digestion works, your immune system activates. Healing happens. Most men who struggle with overthinking and insomnia spend their entire lives in sympathetic overdrive. They go to sleep already activated, and then their mind generates threats, real or imagined, that keep that system firing all night long. They never actually enter parasympathetic mode. They never give their body permission to rest. Here's what very few people know. You have the power to shift your nervous system state instantly, not through force, not through willpower, but through vagal activation. Your vagus nerve is like a master switch for your parasympathetic system. And there are specific techniques, ancient techniques, modern techniques, physiological techniques that can flip that switch in seconds. A specific breathing pattern, a specific body position, a specific way of thinking. And once you learn how to activate your parasympathetic system on demand, insomnia loses its power over you. Because you're no longer trying to sleep, you're literally signaling your body that it's safe to rest. Your body has to listen. I'm going to give you something practical right now. Not a meditation, not a visualization, something physiological that works because of how your body is wired. It's called the 4-7-8 breathing technique, and it's one of the most powerful nervous system resets available. Here's how it works. And I want you to try this tonight. When you're lying in bed and you feel the panic rising, when you notice your mind starting to race, you do this. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 7. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. Then repeat. 4 counts in, 7 counts hold, 8 counts out. That's 1 cycle. Do this for 4 or 5 cycles. What's happening physiologically is this. The long exhale triggers your vagal nerve. It tells your body that there's no immediate threat. The counting gives your conscious mind something to focus on besides your catastrophic thoughts. And the deep breathing really changes the chemistry in your bloodstream. Your CO2 levels shift. Your heart rate drops. Your nervous system downregulates. Within minutes, most people feel a profound shift. They go from "I'll never sleep" to "I can actually rest." That's not magic. That's neuroscience. But I want you to understand something crucial. This technique isn't going to work if you use it while fighting your situation. It only works if you use it while accepting your situation. You have to lie there and say, "Okay, my mind is racing right now. That's what's happening. I'm not judging it. I'm not fighting it. I'm just going to shift my nervous system." The moment you accept reality as it is, you gain the power to change it. There's a story I want to share with you, not about someone else, about you, about the version of you that exists a few weeks from now. After you've genuinely committed to this shift, you've done the breathing technique every night for 10 days. Some nights, it worked immediately. Some nights, your mind still raced for an hour. But something changed. You stopped expecting sleep to come instantly. You stopped making sleep into a battle. Instead, you started treating it like an invitation. My body is tired. Let me give it permission to rest. Let me shift into parasympathetic mode. Let me breathe. And whatever happens, happens. On night 11, something shifts. You lie down. You do the breathing. And instead of your mind racing into the future, you notice something. You're present. You're aware of the weight of your body on the mattress. You're aware of the rhythm of your breath. You're aware of the darkness around you, not as threatening, but as peaceful. Your mind still generates thoughts, but they're like clouds passing through the sky. You don't grab them. You don't fight them. They just pass. And then, you notice something remarkable. You're asleep. You didn't try to sleep. You didn't force it. You just created the conditions neurologically, emotionally, physically where sleep became inevitable. You wake up the next morning and it hits you. You slept. You actually slept. And more than that, you didn't wake up in the middle of the night in a panic. Your body and mind rested. You feel it immediately. You're different. Your patience is back. Your confidence is back. Your humor is back. You feel like yourself again. But here's what's crucial to understand. Fixing your insomnia isn't actually about sleep. It's about something deeper. It's about reclaiming your peace. Because once you start sleeping, again, once you stop spending your nights in that mental prison, something else happens. You start to see patterns in your daytime life. You start to notice, "Oh, I was catastrophizing about things that never actually happened. Oh, I was worried about problems I can't even control. Oh, I was spending mental energy on regrets I can't change." And as you gain clarity through better sleep, you start to make different choices during the day. You stop accepting the narrative that you're broken. You stop believing that your overthinking mind is your enemy. You start treating it as information. My mind is telling me I'm in danger. What is it actually perceiving? What's real? What's just the old programming? This is where real transformation happens. This is where you stop being a victim of your own neurology and start being the master of it. You're still an overthinker. You're still detail-oriented. You're still conscientious. But now those qualities serve you instead of imprison you. You use your analytical mind to solve real problems, not to generate imaginary ones. You use your conscientiousness to care for the people you love, not to torture yourself with impossible standards. You become integrated. You become whole. I want to be very clear about something. I'm not promising you that you'll never have another anxious thought. I'm not promising you that you'll never lie awake again. What I'm promising you is this. You will never be imprisoned by your own mind the way you have been. Because you will have tools. You will have understanding. You will have agency. You will know, with absolute certainty, that your thoughts are not facts. Your worries are not prophecies. Your nervous system is not your enemy. And most importantly, you will know that the very quality that makes you overthink your depth, your conscientiousness, your ability to see complexity is not a flaw. It's your gift. This is your invitation. Right now, tonight, you can continue exactly as you have been suffering through sleepless nights, waking up exhausted and defeated, feeling like you're watching your life from behind glass. Or you can say, that ends now. You can commit to the breathing technique. You can commit to reframing your mind. You can commit to rebuilding your nervous system, not perfectly, not immediately, but genuinely. And I promise you, if you take this seriously, if you truly commit for the next 30 days, you will be a different man. You will sleep. You will think clearly. You will show up in your life as the man you actually are, not the exhausted ghost you've become. The man who broke free from the 3 a.m. prison. The man who reclaimed his peace. The man who learned that his greatest weakness was actually his greatest strength. That man is waiting for you. That man is already inside you. All you have to do is give him permission to emerge. I want to close with something personal. Throughout my years studying human resilience and mental performance, I've observed this. The men who suffer most aren't the weak ones. They're the strong ones. They're the ones who care deeply, who think deeply, who feel deeply. Their minds won't shut down because their minds are powerful. And power without direction becomes torment. But power with direction, power with understanding, that becomes transformation. What you learned tonight isn't just about sleep. It's about reclaiming dominion over your own consciousness. It's about understanding that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And an observer has choice. An observer has power. The 3 a.m. prison that has held you hostage, it has no real locks. You can walk free tonight, right now. You simply have to decide that you're ready. Here's what I'm asking you to do. Save this video. Share it with someone you know who's struggling in the darkness at 3 a.m. because there are thousands of men suffering silently, thinking they're broken, not knowing that freedom is one breathing technique away. And commit to yourself right now to trying a 4-7-8 breathing technique for the next 10 nights. Not perfectly, just genuinely. That's all. 10 nights. Track how you feel. Notice what changes. You might be surprised. If this resonated with you, if you felt something shift while listening, subscribe to this channel, because we're building a community of men who are done being prisoners of their own minds. We're reclaiming our peace. We're reclaiming our power. We're becoming who we were always meant to be. The choice is yours. The man on the other side of this transformation is waiting. Go meet him. I'm Mr. Stark. Thank you for listening. And tonight, rest well.